Set this up, we mean this. Yeah, so you come get your tablet. And all when you left and you have to come back on me. Know you have to buy one of them your laptop. Best of business, a serious business. We sell all electrical appliances and all of your car accessories. Come a get stop, you know no problem.
Hey, check out their discount on all brands of electronic devices, laptops, cell phones, and tablets. Best Apps Technology with 6 locations island-wide: Brownstown, Ocheria, Spalding, Christiana, Maypen, and Falmouth. Best Apps Technology. Best quality guaranteed.
So here I am, the controversial Ed Wallace. I'm on Community Buzz every Monday afternoon on Fit FM 96.7. Call me. Our number is 876-482-4944. Let us discuss topics affecting your community: education, health, community development, infrastructure, and anything else. Remember, Community Buzz, Mondays on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Under the pressures of your life and it tough. Now stay down, mama, time pick it up.
Yeah, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Community Buzz here on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. I'm Ed Wallace, your host, and I'll be with you for the next hour and a half or so. So we're going to get right down to business. We have a few things to cover. Remember, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter. You find us on all the radio apps, and it's just perfect listening. In fact, Fit FM is the best in programming for the last half a century. Yeah, for the last half a century. So we're getting down to business. So we have a lot of programs. We have love programs. We have religious programs. We have programs about mental health and stability. We have programs with music. And guess what? None of the kind of outlandish kind of music, that kind of thing. So we have Christian music, we have good reggae music, good rockers, good dancehall music everywhere around. So Fit FM is a station to be with. And I invite you not only to listen to Community Buzz, not only to share with Community Buzz, but to share with all my other colleagues here on Fit FM 96.7. Yeah, man. So greetings to all. Clover Post, I see you're the first one who logged on to our Facebook. All right, Clover Post. Rose, you're always with us from up there in Upper Trelawney, Rose Griffiths. And so we go on. I know a lot of other people will join us. I expect to get Melcinda in in a little while. So here we are. So we're greetings. I found out that Sergeant Wallace is doing so much with respect to birthday greetings. Left none for me. This morning when I heard you reading out greetings this morning on my neighbor and everything like that, the man is so dedicated to, ensuring that his friends, his clans, everybody get good coverage from him. And so, not just congratulating and wishing happy birthday to all those people, but congratulating also Sergeant Wallace for the good work that he has been doing, but him name Wallace. It is expected. It's it is expected. So greetings, greetings, greetings. And anniversaries, he did that too. And right now, I don't have any anniversary except to continue to celebrate our Fit FM second anniversary. Going into third. You know, the COVID thing kind of brace we have, but we're not going to forget that. We have done good. Hey, Julia, we work over the year and we develop, we grow, we hone, we get better, we get better. I mean, yo, I tell you, if it wasn't somebody else saying it, but looking better, looking best kind of a thing. But what we do, fitter and fittest, looking fit, looking fitter, and looking fittest. Yeah, man. So we're there. At the same time, we have people who are sick and in hospital, sick and at home, and a woolly. COVID ward at Falmouth Hospital is full. I wouldn't tell you that you can't take no more because I don't know where the government find the space. I don't know where the hospital authorities find the space, but they are accommodating and they're trying to take care of every single case of COVID that needs hospitalization. But it is not a granted. It is not a given. And we're still gonna talk about COVID a little later on in the show. And so, yeah. So as I say, out front, up to the frontline workers, and to say we wish all the persons who are sick and in hospital, sick and are at home, a speedy recovery so that you can be back on your feet and contributing fully to the nation's recovery, both from an economic standpoint, from your family standpoint, and just for good things to happen for us. Loss, um, as usual, we just want to wish all the persons who have lost loved ones over the past 2 weeks or so, um, that God will come and stay by you, tarry with you, bring you comfort, and may the memory of your loved ones be be cherished and be of good motivation to the family here left behind. In the what should I say now? In the housekeeping here area of the Falmouth Hospital, they lost a colleague last week, the week before last. I'd like to just say to them, take comfort in her memory, take comfort in the fact that, once you feel so badly about that loss, it means that she must have meant something to you. And just make sure that her memory motivates you into even being better at what you do than you currently are. And just to tell you that you're rated among the best as frontline workers. You do very good work. So stay, just keep your head, keep your focus as you continue to mourn your loss. I know other people have had loss too. I don't know if I'd mentioned Karen Smith, my most favorite singer in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, and nearly in the world. Karen Smith is a woman that I put in the top 5 to top 10 of the world's great female voices. That's how much I rate Karen. And when I was able to listen to her on the hotel circuit doing cabaret, she was just phenomenal. And then one would remember her and Mallory Williams doing the Grace Cock Soup. You remember that ad? Yeah, from that ad. I don't know what to say about this loss. Is a very big loss to Jamaica. A whole lot of people come back to Jamaica as tourists just because of Karen. And there are a whole lot of people in Jamaica who goes to entertainment just to see Karen. You just know that you're going to get a good show when you're sitting and listening to Karen Smith. I also don't recall if I had mentioned the loss of Ernest Smith, prominent lawyer in St. Anne, good friend of mine, very, very good friend of mine. Ernest apparently succumbed to some cancer or of the sort, which is devastating. And having said cancer, I have not done mine this year, but I think this month is prostate cancer month, prostate cancer awareness month, or something like that. I'm going to encourage us all, men, and encourage us all to do what we can to make sure that we do our test and we find out what is happening so that we can get treatment if there's any needed, or we can just watch and monitor ourselves selves and stay safe. So that's the loss of Ernie, the loss of Karen. Again, I said condolences to the family, and it's a big Fit FM condolences. We share in your grief, and we hope that the comforter will come along and comfort you, your family, and all the friends and relatives of the lost, the persons we have lost, you know. Um, Andrea Garwood, never forget Andrea Garwood. We keep her in memory simply because it shows us how bad the world has gone. I mean, last week in the news, you hear about quadruple murders and your teacher and student missing and all kinds of issues there. And you know, I hope I can get my producer to play a particular voicing on Facebook. I'd really love everybody to hear it if we can play it. So later on, we're going to shoot. Later on, we're going to shoot at that if it is possible. But what essentially is being said that we are too good a nation. Our name is too big. I know something I'm going to say already. Our name is too big abroad. We look too good from the outside to be so rotten on the inside. You know? And if anybody can encourage us to just look at ourselves and decide that, yeah, we want to be that civilization that people are talking about 3,000 years from now. You know, I have that ambition for Jamaica. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see. Now, minutes of the last time we were here, we continue to deal with Rockbridge, you know. And as I say, Rockbridge, now, Falmouth people are not bad, you know. Bad to own self, pure self-sabotage. Falmouth people. We lock Rockbridge, the authorities lock Rockbridge, not now go on. The port people come into Falmouth and they start to build and do everything. They build a little piece of road out by fishers and divers. I don't know, that's the old road that would go to Rock and Rockbridge. All right? And build this bypass, pretty much a bypass to the town from that end. And it drops you back out at the New Falmouth market. All right? No, this is how I say again, Port Authority people, yeah, apparently build it. So the authorities, including the police, start using the bypass officially till you get ticket if you go anywhere else except that. So we have this using as a bypass. I know of a friend of mine who got a ticket driving on that bypass for some reason or the other. Even before, if it is now gazetted as a road, all of a sudden now, I'm passing, using that road. I see the road being gated. Yes. I see the road. And I'm saying, Falmouth people, we have all but lost Falmouth. What are we going to do about it? Barrack School picnic them out for my age. We're not doing nothing for Falmouth. I'm saying it's time to come together to try to make our mark on Falmouth. Those people who have passed, died, and gone, and do what they do for Falmouth, yeah, we're still living on their legacy. We don't do nothing yet. And already, if we don't do anything, the time to act and the cherries to pick and the benefit that Falmouth could have from us is being passed because the younger generation start to take over already. One other, wake up. These are issues that we need to be relating to. All right? This one way in and one way out of Falmouth kind of a situation, unless you're going to have foreshore road, is not working out. you know. So I'm suggesting that, it's time for us, especially me call on bar school people of my generation, 5 years before and 5 years after. It is time for us to do something for Falmouth. It is time for us to make our mark on Falmouth. So we see the gating going up. I don't know, and I'm not so sure why that gating is going up. I'm hearing some whispers and all that kind of thing, but the gate is sure because we see it. It is physical. That is not rumor. And I don't know why it for. Right? Big pole in the middle of the road, and without any warning signs, because a friend of mine came up on it too and said that he nearly ran in the post, never just driving as normal, thinking that the way is clear, and nearly ran into that post. So I don't know. Our visitors, the people who we are hosting, Port Authority, tourist enhancement fund, all them kind of people, do better by us, please. Do better by us. And I'm saying to Falmouth people, get up, stand up for your rights. This not look good. This not look fair. This is our town. We need to participate more in the making of our history. Yeah? All right, so we have that. Then we have the Falmouth, still on the agenda, Falmouth to Springvale Main Road. As I said, Minister of with responsibility for NWA came about with the MP Tova Hamilton the other day, and they toured, and we kind of got some promises and some word that the road will be dealt with over time, even a figure of, I think, 700 and something $1 million, if my recollection serves me. But still, until we see the road start fixed, we don't know nothing, because a whole heap of time we see a mile drop and a rain wash it away. So we hope this is not one of the times with the Falmouth to Springvale Main Road. Seaboard Street, that other road around a pier there, so that street around the Falmouth Pier carries us across the front of the courthouse, the cenotaph that where we do our memory for the fallen soldiers in World War One and Two. We come across JN, then we end up back onto Tharp Street, that stretch of road. I had mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, how poor it was. Some fixing was done, some adjustment was done, and I want to extend gratitude to the authorities for dealing with that issue in the way that they have dealt with it so far. Not perfect, but most of the ponds and the pothole them. Falmouth, some parts of Falmouth, they're below sea level, right? And so if those potholes had gone any further, we would be seeing standing water permanently, So we're happy to see and to announce that that has been fixed. In addition to that, we still have outstanding, I think. Refuge, I'm going to drop this, if you don't know, correspond with me and let me know what is happening in the refuge. Are the roads being fixed? Is the street light in? Talk to me. I know over here at Stuart Castle that we don't have that privilege yet, and we're still begging that privilege from the authorities to get the road and the street lighting in Stuart Castle area a little bit better than it is right now. No, traffic lights. If you're a follower of Fit FM, you'll know how many times we quarrel about traffic lights. Now, perhaps a month and a half ago, an explanation was being given at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, because my recollection is not so good right now as to who was giving it. What we heard coming out of that meeting was that they don't want to put too many stoplights between Foreshore Road entrance to Falmouth and Coral Spring, right? Because it's going to clog up traffic and all of that. And I remember saying that I counted 18 stoplights between the airport in Montego Bay and out of Sea Castles. 18, right? And A couple of them are so close you wouldn't believe, because Convention Center you have one, Rosal Great House you have one, go back down to right, go back down, not just to Half Moon, because between Half Moon and Ritz Carlton, where Ritz Carlton was. Yeah, so we have one woolly, so I don't know one I talk about we can get stoplight. And the accidents are happening, the potential is there. I mean, I wonder, I remember there was a warning that out Braco, that the road was dangerous. It was a black spot at one time. And it take 4 tourists for crash and most 3 of them dead before we decided that we were going to do that road and do it properly to make sure that, we prevent accidents as far as the government could do it. Now, what the Chamber of Commerce the Chamber of Commerce is asking is that we make a 4-way traffic light out of Stonebrook and Rock there, with the 4th direction being into Rock. So we go into Rock right at that stoplight and kind of abandon that full use of the, what we call the bus again, that goes into Glistening Waters. We stop using that entrance exit as it exists now and have a safer entrance exit with a stoplight there. That will solve a problem, because it is still dangerous coming out at Fisherman's Inn entrance exit, especially if you're coming out to turn right. If you turn left, it's not bad, but turning right. It is also coming from Duncan's Inn, turning right. It's a very dangerous endeavor. And so we need to do something about it. And one of the best bet is putting a stoplight, another stoplight, an entrance into Rock right there. Instead, what we have done is blocked it up, right? So I'm asking the authorities, and a couple of us are asking more than a couple of us, a number of us are asking the authorities to open that road, make good sense prevail, just look at it properly, all right? The other thing is that we want a stoplight at Coral Springs. Entering and exiting Coral Spring, we need a stoplight there, something to regulate traffic. All right? We go now to Foreshore Road, we need some traffic regulation there. But more importantly, we need traffic regulation at Hague, entering into the Hague housing scheme. Now, was it Sunday night? I think it was Sunday night. No, not Sunday night. Yeah, man, Sunday night is lockdown night, not sure. Sunday night, I'm in bed, the phone rings. One of my colleagues, boss, there's an accident out of Hague, You want some people turning into Hague, and the ambulance coming full tilt, lick into the little car that was turning into Hague, turned over, flipped, the ambulance that is, flipped, and fling out the patient and the oxygen out of the ambulance. I couldn't believe. I went out there and I saw it for myself. By the time I went, though, truth of the matter is that the fire brigade was already on scene. They got their ambulance and they picked up that patient and took the patient where they took them. I'm not even sure that whether or not they went to a hospital or completed the journey. And so we're looking at a dangerous spot there that needs some amount of regulation too. So when you come and tell us that you don't want too much stoplighting in the area, it's really damn nonsense. It's really nonsense. And so whoever is responsible, if you're not putting a stoplight there, tell us how we're going to regulate the area so that black people not continue to crash and dead needlessly. Because sometimes, careless driving cause a thing and all the thing. No lights, nothing. I tell you another thing about this accident that I saw Sunday night. It was a tourist driving the car. They were apparently looking for an Airbnb that they booked. It was in the night and they weren't sure where to find it. And they thought that Hague was a place to turn. So they middled the road apparently and was trying to execute their turn when the ambulance came down. Flashing light, no sound, flashing light, but it should have been visible anyway. But just managing that road right there, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for me. It's dangerous for Julia. It's dangerous for any other driver. It's dangerous for tourists. Why wait until some nice white guest dead before we fix the problem? If you're not putting stoplight there, tell us how you're going to fix it. And better yet, fix it. I could say, fix it. You know? The other area that requires regulation is coming off the highway, going down on the downside of the bridge to come to Falmouth, to turn into Falmouth. That area is another very dangerous area, especially with bike and bicycle coming up on that left-hand side from Falmouth. Very, very dangerous area. And I'm really surprised how I don't hear of any of that kind of accident out there. I've heard of other accidents, man, drive off and driving at the palm tree and all that kind of thing. But that is accident waiting to happen. So both the side that takes you into Falmouth from Duncan's and the side that takes you into Falmouth from Montego Bay, Saltmarsh, wherever, we need some regulation there. It is hard to navigate. It is difficult to navigate. And so I'm calling on the authorities to look into these areas. So I'm going to say again, Foreshore Road, under the bridge, the Martha Bray Highway Bridge, Hague, Stonebrook opening into a four-way, and Coral Spring. That's a 4.5 flash stoplights. 4.5 because the Stonebrook one is even less than a half because we have traffic lights there already. So authorities were begging, no make no more Jamaicans dead more than we have to. I mean, we're already doing it ourselves. No, I could say if we can assist, please. All right, so I move from the traffic lights. I mean, it's still there, you know. Crime around rampant same way. Quadruple murder, as I say. Teacher and picketing missing. Student missing, all kind of thing. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to ourselves? Where are we going as a country? Where are we going as a nation? Where are we going if we're not going to be civilized? You know? COVID was a feature, and we always have our COVID feature, but just because it's in the minute I'm mentioning. But there's something I mentioned last time out that we all must remember. The mosquitoes. And the mosquito, them bad. I'm not telling no lie. Yeah, the mosquito, them big teeth mosquito, yes, sir. Big teeth mosquito. And here again, I'm going to suggest some personal responsibility. I did it last time out, do it again. Get rid of the water containing things them one mosquito can breed in. Please help yourself. I know everything government can do, particularly no. Please help yourself. The old tire them, the old can, old plastic bottles, old flower pots, anything that even leaf sometime when them warp a certain way and rain fall, mosquito can breed into them. Make us see what we can do for yourself. Because it's like the plague of Egypt coming one by one. And the funny thing is that we can do something about it. Funny as I said, plague, I was doing some research on the plague of the 1330s to 13, I think about 49. And I found out from that the same remedy that they were using back then are the same remedies that are practical now. Sanitation, distancing, and quarantining. So these formats are as old as, as the medieval days. Yeah. So when we run our mouths about not doing the quarantine, not doing the social distancing, not wearing the mask, these are things that we've been doing for pandemics over 100, 300, 700 years. Yeah. 800 years. So no make nobody fool you. There are things that we can do and we need to do in order to protect ourselves. Anyhow, back to the mosquitoes. I know fogging is going on in certain areas, but resources are limited right now because of COVID. So we need to try to take care of ourselves. I'm going to take a short break right now, and we're going to come right back to Community Buzz. Again, welcome to you all. And by then, I should be able to. Well, Dr. Asha is here. Dr. Asha is here with us. Clover is still here with us. Who named Sweet Goods now? Sweet Goods, send me a line and tell me exactly who you are. And I'm still missing Melcinda. We take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey there, this is Charles Hyatt from Good News Jamaica. GoodNewsJamaica.com. Join me every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Fit FM 96.7 for Mobile Reasoning, where we go out and look for extraordinary Jamaicans doing wonderfully for their community. That's 5:30 p.m. Sundays right here on Fit FM 96.7. Trelawney's Radio. Your life, your music.
This is Prophetess Lydia
and Bishop Robert Dowell
from Sanctuary Ministries International.
Join us every weekday morning on Fit FM 96.7 at 5:45 for Morning Manna.
An amazing way to start your day. Mark your diaries, set your alarms. You are promised an unforgettable experience.
Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Attending your doctor on a regular basis is a real challenge. Many patients have no urge to get out of home just for a checkup or physiotherapy. HASBA is Jamaica's medical concierge that brings healthcare to your home. We have a customer-centric team of professional doctors and compassionate nurses. Do you want a physician or a nurse to visit you in your comfort zone? Do you want a consultation now but want to pay later? We offer special packages and membership plans for regular home client services. Our services even include video call, telemedicine, rehabilitation, one-on-one consultations, and so much more.
Be a member of the HASBA Medical Club and find out how you can receive unlimited doctor visits with one flat monthly fee. HASBA Medical Concierge Services, 10 Cornwall Street, Falmouth, Trelawney. Telephone 876-502-3362, 876-541-5992. HASBA Medical Concierge Services, just for you.
Promote your business on Fit FM Business Ball Out. Call 876-377-3442 or 876-317-1991. Don't be left out. Fit FM, a community business ball out.
Don't make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean. Cause it's so easy for germs multiply. You better wash your hands, it can save your own life. Wash your hand them clean, nobody spread no disease now. Hand washing is key.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
This is Prophetess Lydia
and Bishop Robert Dowell
from Sanctuary Ministries International.
Join us every weekday morning on Fit FM 96.7 at 5:45 for Morning Manna.
An amazing way to start your day. Mark your diaries, set your alarms. You are promised an unforgettable experience.
Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Yes, we're right back. We're right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to you. Welcome back. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Say, Fit FM family. The other day, I got a text from purportedly from NCB, and it was saying that something was wrong with my account, and no, and I need to fix it by either calling or WhatsApping certain information to them. No, I have a friend named Briggy, and now it's me not just get me head for the barber work. Briggy said, me not just get me head for the barber work. So neither do I think that it is any different with you, listeners. Be wary of those texts. Scam them. The scammer them really start take away for fool now. Yeah? So be careful. I don't think NCB do business like that. National Commercial Bank don't do business like that. And we have all sorts of other ways that NCB can get our attention to come and do business. And if your account work properly, why would an NCB come tell you about now something wrong you need for send them information? There's something wrong with that one there. All right. So just be on notice that the scammers are all over the place. They're not discriminating now. It's not the time when we can say only white people they must scam, only old people they must scam, and all kind of things. Everybody is a possible victim now if we lay ourselves careless. So look out for that scam. I want to congratulate one of my good friends, Champ Manley, Manlius Clark from Falmouth, famous president of the Senate on the wall, courthouse wall. Yeah, he seemed to have achieved a lifetime achievement presented to him by the Member of Parliament a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. I just want to put that into the greeting section and say, congratulations, Champ. Apparently, you've done good work for your party, and that was your reward. Yeah, so I just want to mention that. Police. I didn't say this in the area when we were dealing with loss, but about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, policeman in Hanover just suddenly, yeah, inspector of police just suddenly took sick and died at work, collapsed at work and died. You know, I want to say condolences to the family first of all, and then to all his colleagues and friends um, in Hanover and indeed across the police force and across Jamaica. Uh, from the rollout of sympathy, I see that he was well loved. And so we join with a Fit FM condolence reach out and ask that God carries you through the period of your mourning and that you will make his memory count. Once he was that good a police officer, you will make his memory count. And that includes especially his colleagues. Make his memory count. At the same time, I'm going to make this wait for last. I don't see what is happening in the news in relation to the cesspool, what they're calling the cesspool death that took place in Monique. Again, I want to just warn as a safety professional myself that working in confined spaces is a dangerous thing. And as long as that confined space is moist, it is just as dangerous when it's dry. But when it's moist, it is likely going to produce gases that are poisonous. Poisonous gases. And if you go into that space without ventilation, you're likely to be harmed. And if somebody see you collapse in such a confined space and tries to come to get you, the same CO gases are going to get that person too. So workers, be careful. I'm going to just take the opportunity to also mention workers who are ancillary and perhaps even domestic. How you use your chemicals and your bleach and everything, be careful. See if you can get a reading of the label. Inhalation of those chemicals generally is not good. So I just want to put out a warning there that, industrially and at home, you have some dangerous things facing. Industrially, sewer gases in manholes and stuff like that. But if you're there in your yard and open a manhole to look in there and hang your face over it for too long, it can be harmful too. So be careful. And as I said, the chemicals that you use to clean your bathroom, be careful. Be careful of that. There are warning labels on all of these, There are warning labels on all of the chemicals. So you read your warning labels. You're not going to get it when you go buy the retail bleach or the retail soap or the retail this. But the people who retail them should have documents to tell you what are the dangers, so you can really check it out. The other thing is Google no make for dog. Use up Google, hard. Use up too much learning about now. And YouTube. So use it up, people. Use it up. Where you're not even going to school right now, you can sit down as an adult learner and learn almost anything that you want to learn on Google and on YouTube. So please use it up. This is to your advantage with all the bad things. As I keep telling people, there is more technology on our current phone, in the operations of our current phone and the capability of our current phones. More technology in there than took man to the moon in, when was it, 1963? What kind of 69 you tell me about, ma'am? I'm going to come off that. Just know that is more technology than took man into space. Let me leave you. So you can learn a lot using your phone. And most of us have smartphones. And however cheap they be or expensive, once it's smartphone and you can reach YouTube, Google, and Facebook, you can learn. So use it up. I come now to COVID. You know, all right. Man went to the moon on July 16, 1969. But a space miracle. You see, as one challenge we're running with Julia right now, you know. And in fact, that is the kind of challenge that I expect to get from my listeners when it comes to 876 482 4944. You realize, producer, that I forgot to mention it earlier. So we're still on 876 482 4944. So give us a call, please. All right, so COVID deaths now. We are on 732 COVID deaths up to Sunday. Yesterday? Today, Monday, not sure. So that would be perhaps Saturday's figure.
733 new cases.
New cases, 733. That me talk about, man. You don't understand what I say. You don't understand, not true? You don't understand. 733. What it look like? It'll look like a lockdown now work. Why the lockdown now work? I'm going to come back to that. So far we have 1,700 people, almost 1,800 people who have died from COVID-19. Since last year when the COVID feature started, we've gone 80,000 and almost 200 cases. Yeah? 80,200 cases. 1,700 died. 1,800 died. And as we speak, we have 27,137 active cases. And if you have this much active cases, multiply it by 3, they say. No, so they say. Multiply it at least by a factor of 3. And remember, the new strain of COVID, which is the Delta variant we're talking about, spread rapidly and more easily. So it could be more. So we still need to take our vaccine. We still need to take our vaccine. Today, at the Falmouth Health Clinic, vaccine was there for people who got take on a vaccine. Don't follow nobody, got take on a vaccine. Vaccine save lives. Yeah, it is admitted that you can still catch COVID, but the impact is less in 90 plus cases. The impact is less. So I suggest to you that you go take your vaccine. Incidentally, there's going to be a COVID blitz in Trelawney come Thursday. All right? Put on by the Ministry of Health, the Trelawney Health people, yes, SDC, all the various agencies, and the Member of Parliament supporting this blitz. And if I understand correctly, the Prime Minister may well be here to promote the COVID blitz too on Thursday. So, Prime Minister, no Prime Minister though, go take on a vaccine. The vaccine is here for free. And people are flocking it in such a way that you will not believe. I've always said that when we reach 10% of population, we're going to just run off. And we're going to run off in such a way that people might have to start pay for vaccine. I've seen crowds of people gathering to take vaccine, rubbing up on each other more for catch COVID than anything else. Again, be orderly when you go to take your vaccine. Be orderly. Don't continue to expose yourself. Social distancing is still necessary. So when you go to take your vaccine, wear your mask same way and social distance. Try your best. I know you will want to get your vaccine, those of you who come. I know you want to get it quickly, and I know you don't want no long waiting, but it's better to wait, get your vaccine, and go home safely because you know we're going to try mitigate against COVID, and in the meantime you catch it. So on Thursday of this week, Upper Trelawney, Lower Trelawney, the whole of Trelawney, COVID blitz, on a go there, go take on a vaccine. Stadium. Oh, stadium is a location for Lower Trelawney here, and the Upper Trelawney location, if I recall correctly, is Troy. So no go out the man, go take on a vaccine. I took mine and still there's no impact. Producer, what going to do? You all right? Yeah, man. And I suspect that we will be better off for it. So my encouragement is going into that direction. Go take your vaccine. All right, so moving along from COVID. The Floyd Green issue perhaps could be a 9-day wonder. And there are some people who would love for it to be a 9-day wonder. Mr. Minister Floyd did an honorable and decent thing to resign. But in the first place, what he did was poor. Poor, poor, poor. And when I looked at it, the first time I looked at it, I said, poor Prime Minister. Because for the Prime Minister to be working so hard and already taking all the flack that he's taking, and a minister with such promise, come render this self-inflicted wound, I found it disheartening and couldn't believe. But what I found more disheartening, or what I'm finding that is more disheartening, is that I see Floyd Green having done the right thing, a group of people in the diaspora are putting out some, what do you call it again? Petition to sign to reinstate Mr. Green. I have no doubt that Mr. Green is a good man. Absolutely no doubt. But now I'm wondering, though, if Jamaica is suffering from battered wife syndrome. You know, the situation where the man beat the wife, come back in sorrow, and the wife say, yes, may I take you back? Yeah. So the man bring flowers and everything and say sorry, and chocolate. Yeah, you know the things that they might bring. And all of a sudden is good again. Now, Jamaica, if we're moving forward, we have to work with Mr. Green. We have to work with Mr. Green. No doubt he can come back. I believe that he's a decent man. But we as a nation now can't go the youthful exuberance way. We cannot go that way. So allow Mr. Green to pay the price for whatever is coming off of that thing, because it was poor, very, at the best, very poor judgment. So I don't know what the diaspora people them up in arms at about petition for reinstate. When I never hear a single word when the few pastors got prison. I never hear a single word when the dry foot one them got jail. I never hear a single word when Beanie Man got punished for his mother's 9-night. I never hear a single word. No petition. Nothing. So I don't know where I go with this, you know. I don't know where I go. It's like if the baby pretty and I dare say brown and nice, and can get away with anything. But the little dry foot one. I've got here. I've got it. No, if we're building a society, come on, people of the diaspora. Just allow it to flow. And the fact of the matter is that I'm sorry for the Prime Minister in such a way that you wouldn't believe. Because in his own growth and maturity and coming into his job, he has had several lapses for which people want to chop off his head. And had it not been for real politics, he perhaps would have not survived. Who remember when he made the blunder with, and I still call it a blunder, with Brian Sykes? You remember how the law, everybody go after him? And okay, when they couldn't get, and they still remember it? Anybody remember when he said at the one buying a food at the corner shop, I helped the spread of COVID? And one whole heap of people come down upon him, and in fact, a lie upon him too. Say him degrade poor people. When in fact, when you're buying one items from the corner store, there is a vulnerable point there. Because sometimes we forget the mass and can't bother with it. So it's a point of vulnerability. But we nearly killed Prime Minister Andrew Holness for it. Him taking wounds for growth, you know. People can remember the Royal Reid scenario. And him still get licked for that. So what we want to know, take up the pretty baby and make it look like there's one law for some people and the other law for somebody. Floyd Green did the decent thing. Leave it and make it play out naturally. Jamaica people know how to judge them thing and deal with it. And when no down here with we, not do the same thing there. But to not sign petition. No have a right for sign on a petition still. I can't take that away from you. But truly, man, just make the thing run now. Make the thing run. Because if they look at what would I forgot to know if you have set up that petition there? You want me to sign it. If you put Beanie name on it, give him back any fee or pay. If you put up what is Starboy name again? This actor brother. Yeah, in the early days. If you give him back fee money too, if you uncriminalize the pastor, them will end up in a word that we make a word, don't you? I just made a word. But if we uncriminalize, may I use it back? Uncriminalize the pastor, them. Hey, no man. Not because you know buck up in Florida and no have a party and no good and all them kind of thing there. See? The little people there, them little drive out one them in Jamaica. Can't have no party. Cannot have no party. That was a wrong signal. And he has decided to pay the price. Just let him. Let it go. In its natural course, it would seem that people love Mr. Green. It will work itself out. But allow him his decision. Allow it to play out. Can be a situation where we run this two-tier system and then run the battered wife syndrome with one. I don't know about you, but may I tell you how I feel like Sashko. We take a little break and we'll be right back.
Fresh Oil, a practical prophetic approach, applying the Bible to everyday life. Do you know how to hear God? How can we rejoice in trials, finding the light in the darkness? What will the end times look like? Join Bishop Robert Dowell from Sanctuary Ministries International every Thursday evening inside Gospel and Soul from 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Send a WhatsApp through the studio for prayer and counseling on 876-482-4944. That's 876-482-4944. This is Prophetess Lydia Thompson Dowell on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
In the morning as I rise, put on my tracks and I exercise me 150.
There is never a break from keeping fit and maintaining great health. Join me, Mr. Fitness, weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. on Fit FM 96.7, as we jumpstart your day with fun aerobics exercises to get your heart pumping and your body moving. Get fit. It's worth it. Fit FM 96.7. Trelawney's Radio. Your life, your music.
Do you operate a small business in Trelawney? Well, talk to us. Be a proud community partner of Fit FM 96.7. Let us help you reach your target audience for an unbelievably low cost. Contact our sales office today at 876-544-0791, 876-377-3442, or email us at fitfmsales@gmail.com. Fit FM 96.7, Trelawney's Radio. Your life, your music.
Welcome back. So we're into the home stretch of the program, but here we are now. Again. Repeat again. A third party in other place, political party that is. And it is I wrote down the name here, United Independent Congress. United Independent Congress. Now, that political party has picked up on the COVID situation in Jamaica and is perhaps going to try to make prominence through their ideas with respect to how our COVID situation should be treated. Bear in mind now, we know that politics is really the marketplace for ideas. Yeah? That's merely what politics is about. It's a marketplace for ideas, you know? And when we look at politics, anybody can come with their ideas. And they go right into the square of democracy to sell those ideas. So we can listen, and we should listen. I'd love to talk to them at some point, but I'm not so sure how that is going to play out. But from what I hear is that they have a kind of a 5-point platform. Where we heard of 5 there before? We hear Audley Shaw with 5 and 5, or the Minister of Finance with 5 and 5, a 5. And the first time we hear 5-year Congress, and the first time we hear 5. We hear what? We are a whole heap of 5s. That's all I can say, including 1.5. The thing is that the 1.5 it kind of work out. You remember tax thing with 1.5? Yeah, that would kind of work out. You know? Anyhow, my best recollection of we have a tape or anything like that. My best recollection of of what they're saying is that the first thing in their 5-point plan is that they want to block in Jamaica, quarantine Jamaica. No foreigners, just Jamaicans in, Jamaicans out if I say it go. But no foreigners. Essentially lock down the tourist trade. It's an idea. Are we going to buy it? Maybe, maybe not. But after you lock down the travel industry for international foreigners, the second point in their plan is to the persons who are out of work as a result of the lockdown of tourism are going to be paid by the government for being out of work. A kind of a, what should I say? That is a kind of doling out of money. Do we have it? Who is going to finance it? How are we going to get it done? We may buy that idea. We may reject that idea. The third platform, if I recall correctly, and I'm trying my best to recall, is that they formulate a committee. What do you call it? I don't remember the name of the committee now, but they formulate a committee. I'm reading while I'm talking to you. And it's almost like EPOC that is going to kind of regulate what is done in our COVID thing. Regulate what is going to be done with respect of COVID. Monitor the risk management and disaster, how we are operating. I think the fourth thing that they wanted to do was to form a set of laws, legislate for the committee that they're forming so that it is put in law. I'm not recalling the fifth one so quickly. But as a political party, putting this forward, I know you understand, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Convener, Mr. Leader of the party, that we run a first past the post system in Jamaica by constitution. Maybe wrong, maybe right, but we run a first past the post system. And election have consequences. So perhaps you're doing the right thing by forming your party and putting forward your platform. Because as soon as you win an election, we can determine what we're going to be doing from your 5-point plan and exactly how we're going to finance it. I think one of the points was training to education, public education, right? It is often, very often, that we've seen political parties in opposition or up and coming who make all kind of promises and come with all kind of idea. But Jamaica is not operating with respect to COVID only. So I hear that the party is going to demonstrate. I would love to hear more. I hear the 5-point plan. I would love to hear more. So I'm putting out an invitation for anytime you get to come to Community Buzz to talk to us, that you avail yourself of the opportunity so that Jamaican people can avail themselves of the opportunity of learning more about you. But beware, I don't think we can take no more pie in the sky offers in politics. With that said, though, unity in fighting COVID is essential. And so I hope that your points will be considered by government, the elected government. As I said, elections of consequence will be considered by elected government, and that if there is anything that we can agree on, that it be instituted forthwith. But remember, budget is important. Right now, we have hundreds of craft workers out of work because of the virtual lockdown of the craft industry and the limitations placed on the tourist industry. Hundreds of craft workers. We have other workers who benefit from those things. If we lock the country down now and lock our main source of funds, what do? I love the opportunity to talk to you, for you to tell me and demystify some of those issues for us. Because we need it. We need it. Right now, what is being attempted is that we balance lives and livelihoods, and it's a tough already. We're even trying to balance worship, and that one is tough too. So come talk to us. And when you come talk to us, if you do, come with information, not just about COVID, please. We want to know more about you. Not just COVID. Come with an outlook for Jamaica at the very least, and some ideas how to get to that outlook. That reasonable, producer? Reasonable questions? Yeah, I think so. So we're looking forward to talking to the leader of the United Independent Congress of Jamaica. We're looking forward to you. As we went down, there's something that I wanted to talk to us about. I want to talk now about one of the most underrated past personalities of Jamaica and of Trelawney. And I want to talk about him within the context of the idea that Minister Babsy Grange, responsible for culture, came into Trelawney recently, went over to Sherwood, and determined that the oldest person in the world at one time, that storyboard was going to be dealt with in a particular way to highlight it. She also spoke to the issue of where the Bolt statue has reached, the building of the pedestal, etc., etc. And she also spoke about the restoration of the birth house, boyhood home of Wallace and Shearer, that man on the $5,000 bill. For full disclosure, let me just say that Wallace and Shearer, as a man from Marthabury and me from Marthabury, Wallace and Shearer is my role model. So let me just declare that. I think looking back at the life of Mr. Shearer, and I was raised by my grandmother like he was raised by his grandmother was Miss Jessie in Marthabury, a Lindo. And the Lindos are still in Marthabury. We don't talk much about his paternity because we don't know much. But what we do know is that Wallace Shearer, Miss Jessie grandson, boy from Marthabury, went to Falmouth Elementary School. Right at Barrack School, that's the same Barrack School we're talking about. Now, as the story goes, that it was told to me by my grandmother, and I have repeated this elsewhere. When Wallace was going to school, Falmouth Elementary School, Miss Jessie was kind of, for want of a better word, elitist. She never wanted him to mix with the dried and dry foot picnic. So, if you know Marthabury from a long time, you will know a place named Bullacana. Now, Bullacana is exactly where the highway bridge is right now. So, because Miss Jess don't want him to mix with the pit of them, Oh, by the way, there's a guango tree on the lane there, a big guango tree. It has been there forever. At least one guango tree of the sort has been there forever from Ulas and Shira days. Again, told to me by my grandmother. What would happen is that Miss Jess would walk you Lawson to Bulakana to ensure that the dried pitney them and dry foot pitney them gone. And he alone now must walk to Falmouth to go to school. You Lawson though. Plan up with the pitney them, or the pitney them plan up with you Lawson. Him want now walk to school. So them walk ahead of him and go to Guango Tree and stand up and wait for him. And when they all caught up, because everybody have barefoot, you Lawson take off his shoes, put in a bag, and walk barefoot go to school with them. If that is not the stuff of legend, tell me what is. Everybody talk about George Washington and he cut down cherry tree and he didn't tell a lie and he became famous for that and myth. If you Lawson taking off his shoes every day, walking with the people them go to school, and then when they're coming back, they walk from Falmouth barefoot again too. And when they reach Guango Tree, everybody stop. Make you also put on back in shoes, walk go meet Miss Jessie Abulakana, and then them come home. If that is not a story to be told, something wrong. So we have you Lawson, and I have that picture of you Lawson. You Lawson was one of two people who got scholarships during that time to go to another school, which was, the other person was, I think, Mr. Henry Tansing of Hamden fame. Two of them. And eventually, he broke out of Martha Bay and left for Kingston, Bustamante, take him over. And you Lawson became perhaps the greatest trade unionist, arguably the greatest trade unionist Jamaica has ever seen. Remember one time when his party was in government, the police was about to strike. Never saw police strike yet. Was about to strike. And in the mode of strike, them said the only man who can contact me right now is Ulas Ashira. Not the Minister of Finance, not the Minister of National Security, not even the Prime Minister, Edward Seaga at the time. If Shira don't contact me, we now go nowhere. We have that. Separate and apart from that, you also went to school, became a trade unionist, and was under the arms of Bustamante for a while, until in the late 1960s he became Prime Minister after the death of Sir Donald Sangster. A big thing happened in Jamaica during the beginning of his tenure. The English people who owned JPS decided that they wanted an increase in electricity rates, and it was exorbitant. Mr. Shearer said, I will not have it. We will not have it. And they insisted that them big bad and bowl, so you want them aggregate them way. Same JPS. And we are struggling with JPS and increase rate now. It's so ironic, not true? But you also Shearer at that time made them an offer for the purchase of JPS, which they refused. And then you Lawson compulsory acquired JPS to prevent increases in the rate of electricity to Jamaicans. That is how some folks happen to have shares in JPS. People like Miss Jennifer Lopez, who passed, and others. I think the people from Best Dressed Chicken have some shares in JPS too. It's not public knowledge, so I'm saying it because it's public knowledge. But we owning JPS, subsequently in the 1990s, it was sold out. But that is how we acquired JPS. Ulas Shearer happened to be the first head of state in the world who take action against South Africa for apartheid with a cricket ban. That are the boy from Martha Bray, Miss Jessie grandson. Underrated. 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 I'm so happy that they've placed him on the $5,000 bill because now everybody wants a share. You know? But there's history in Wallace Shearer. There's history to be shared because as it turned out, he ran one of the best economy Jamaica has ever seen. You know? So I credit and I welcome the Minister of Culture's argument, assertion, and plans to develop something around Mr. Shearer in the place of his birth, his boyhood home. I've spoken to prominent politicians who didn't even know say Wallace come from Trelawney. And I'm going to say it. I ran into, because I happen to be one of those persons who have had discussions with all prime ministers of Jamaica, except for Sir Alex and Sir Donald Sangster. Every last one of them after that. Everyone without exception. So when I tell you that I was talking to Mrs. Simpson Miller, and she told me that she thought Mr. Shearer came from Clarendon, and that I corrected her to say, no, Madam Prime Minister, he's really from Martha Bray in Trelawney. How comes we can have such a big man in our place and I want to celebrate him? A decent thing, Trelawney, is to embrace our history. Another thing about you, Lawson Shearer, you remember that advertisement, political advertisement, bill by Labour? You remember Mushat secondary bill by Labour? This is secondary bill by Labour. We wanted to degrade you, Lawson Shearer, for the building of secondary schools. But we did not know why you, Lawson Shearer, built so many secondary schools. It's because the churches, and look if I lie, may I tell, the churches of Jamaica, who own the rest, build and own the rest of school them, were so, what should I say, skittish about having the non-churches in their schools. Them decide, say, no. So the government of the day, being a peaceful kind of a peacemaker kind of person that Wallace is, went and built secondary schools for facilitate poor people pitney. One would think that he never wanted children in the traditional high schools. But the owners of the traditional high schools never want dry foot pitney in their school. So we have a whole lot of history bound up in this one man. There's a big controversy about him banning Walter Rodney, Dr. Walter Rodney, the black Pan-Africanist and black nationalist. And there's this alabaloo about it. Wallace Shearer was building a Jamaica, or attempting to build a Jamaica, united out of the motto that said, out of many one. Black power was not on his agenda. That was an American thing. So we need to look upon the history, I think. As I tell you, he's my role model. He's a personality I love. And give credit where credit is due. Because there is a whole lot more. There's lots more where all of this history is coming from. And I think it's time for the youngsters to know about it and for us all to embrace it in Trelawney. We're not talking about necessarily the rest of Jamaica, but in Trelawney. So while we celebrate Bolt, and I think her name is Miss Brown, I'm not so sure. And while we're also now looking at celebrating Wallace Shearer, we must also look to our other athletes like Veronica Campbell. We have a very rich history, you know. But if we're going to blind our eyes to our very rich history, just to isolate some people and talk about who tomb donkey for them grandmother, really, what we do to ourselves? What we do to ourselves? We're at that time. We're at that time. Thank you for listening to me this afternoon. Thank you for sharing the time with me. And it was really lovely being with you this afternoon. Thanks ever so much. God's richest blessings as you go along about your way, you travel home, you're leaving work, perhaps you're going back on a shift, whatever you're doing, God go with you. God blessings. And God willing, next week. This is Ed Wallace tuning out from Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music, and we're just disengaging from the community buzz. Thanks. See you.